How did Hugo Chavez change Venezuela's government? How did Hugo Chavez change Venezuela's government? This question takes us into the heart of a significant transformation that reshaped the nation. In the late 20th century, Hugo Chavez emerged as a prominent figure in Venezuelan politics. His rise began with a military coup attempt in 1992, but he later won the presidency in 1998. Chavez shifted Venezuela from a traditional representative democracy into a socialist-oriented state. His vision was heavily influenced by communist ideals, focusing on wealth redistribution and state control over resources. Central to his agenda was the Bolivarian Revolution, named after the historical figure Simón Bolívar. Chavez aimed to dismantle what he viewed as a corrupt political system that favored the elite. He wanted to empower the working class and marginalized communities. One of his first major actions was constitutional reform. In 1999, he convened a constituent assembly that drafted a new constitution. This document expanded social rights and increased presidential powers. It also introduced direct democracy mechanisms like referendums and communal councils. These changes aimed to institutionalize socialist principles. Chavez also focused on economic nationalization. He nationalized major industries, particularly the oil sector, which is vital to Venezuela's economy. By bringing oil production under state control, he sought to use the nation's wealth to fund social programs. This was part of his strategy to reduce reliance on foreign capital. His government launched extensive social programs known as missions. These initiatives targeted health, education, housing, and food security. They aimed to reduce poverty and inequality by redistributing oil revenues directly to the poor and working classes. Chavez's political realignment marginalized traditional parties. He created a new political movement aligned with socialist ideals, forming alliances with leftist groups, including the Venezuelan Communist Party. However, tensions arose over policy directions and autonomy. While promoting participatory democracy, Chavez also consolidated power within the executive branch. He limited opposition influence and increased state control over media and civil society. Critics argue this led Venezuela toward authoritarianism. However, from a communist perspective, this centralization was seen as necessary to defend the revolution against external threats. Chavez positioned Venezuela against United States influence in Latin America. He promoted regional integration and solidarity among leftist governments. This stance aligned with communist goals of resisting capitalist domination. In practical terms, Chavez transformed Venezuela into a state-led socialist economy. His government expanded social rights and participatory mechanisms, aiming to empower the working class. However, this also involved increased state control and suppression of dissent. Chavez's legacy is viewed as an attempt to build a socialist state that prioritizes social justice and economic equality. His changes represented a significant step in applying socialist principles in Latin America, challenging capitalist structures and promoting workers' control over resources.